pieces of your history that you're sort of mining for laughs or for not? I mean, for more serious.
Well, my show's about a murderer, so I don't know.
But I remember reading that your sister found there pieces of your past that she was surprised.
Yeah,
and sort of
I think there's also with that character, kind of like what you were saying, is you try to be as honest as you can, and especially I don't know how you guys are in the writers' rooms, but sometimes it could feel like group therapy where those writers' rooms could get so personal. I find like I'll share things in the writers' room that I've never shared with like closest friends because you're trying to get to some truth about something, so you just start, talking about like, yeah, man, I remember like in, ninth grade just feeling like an utter failure, and I would just cry a lot, just like start crying and not knowing why, and everybody going, all right, Bill, okay. And my best friend Duffy Boudreaux writes on the show, and he's been friends with me since we were 13. He's like, I didn't know any of this stuff. Are you okay? But you just try to find that Venn diagram of your main character and you in the room. You just try to poll people on stuff. Alec and I talked a lot about stakes, and I think, in comedy, and you just go, well, can we do a show about death, life and death, and still be funny, So I guess my point is you take those things from your life, but you could put it into a genre type thing if you wanted to. This season on the Barry, all the characters are trying to fight their nature and just be honest and truthful, but some of the characters, what they're realizing is that's not what this town wants, because that doesn't make a lot of money. You know what I mean? It makes people feel bad. The thing we keep saying is people go, that was a bummer. That's what everyone says when they see the honest thing. And it's funny because Stephen Root's character, Fuchs, is just this hitman he's like my hitman agent guy, just dummy. He's like, people don't want that. He's the one telling me, he's like, people just want Braveheart. They want that speech from Braveheart. You think that guy actually gave that speech in Braveheart? No, he just fucking died. But you see it, and it's like the greatest thing you've ever seen, right? So don't worry about being honest, because being honest just makes you vulnerable and scared,
In your show, one of the things that I found fascinating is that you are a murderer, and yet the audience, in many ways, is rooting for you. And then all of a sudden, Sally's character, a female, people don't get behind in the same way.
Well,
and
it's funny, we had a screening of the first 4 episodes, and someone said, I find her very unlikable, and someone shouted out, Barry kills people.
But what does that say?
She's an ambitious actress, and she's not afraid to play someone who is complicated. They're not I don't think, a bad person. She's just incredibly complicated. She's human.
But this was always the thing on Breaking Bad, for instance.
Yeah, that Skylar, people were just like, I can't stand Skylar, and you're like,
and meanwhile, they're rooting for Walter White.
She's home alone with like a special needs kid and a baby, and she's the bad guy? I've had someone come up to me at a restaurant and say, I can't believe you made Henry Winkler like a terrible person. And they're like, that was, and they were, I thought it was a bit at first, and then I was like that awful sinking feeling of like, oh, they're being serious, and they were holding my hand the whole time. Like I was shaking hands with them, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're really mad at me. Oh, you're not letting go of my hand. And this person was like, it was very uncool. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, he's happy playing it.
So that's a paycheck, so he's good.
He's good. And then also I've had people, Alec loves this, where a female reporter will say, I've never found you attractive, but you shooting people was very attractive. Like you with a gun, I found rarely attractive. That's happened to me 3 times. And then Alec will always go, so wait, I want to back up. You've never found him attractive. But
how do you respond to that?
I don't know how to respond to that. I find it very strange. I find it.
That's a very weird thing to say.
3 times. It's happened 3 times.
But you married the 3rd person.
Yeah. The 3rd person and I have real estate. We have multiple houses together, but it's weird. I don't know where it comes from.
Hi, I'm Tanya Saracho.
Hi, I'm Alan Yang.
I'm Allie Rushfield.
Hi, I'm Bill Hader, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching The Hollywood Reporter.
The Hollywood Reporter.
The Hollywood Reporter Roundtables.
Roundtable on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Hi, everyone on YouTube.